In this video I want to look at countable and uncountable nouns and some nouns which can actually be both. An uncountable noun is a noun where you cannot add s to make it plural. Now these days in everyday English we sometimes use uncountable nouns as countable. Incorrectly obviously, but it's been accepted now. For example, when you go to the bar and you ask for a coffee, this grammatically is wrong because coffee is uncountable and so you must say a cup of coffee. But what we're actually doing is just removing a cup of and just saying a coffee. Can I have a tea? Can I have a Coke? Can I have a water? These all follow the same rule. So as long as you understand what you're actually saying, it's all okay. So let's start off with some uncountable nouns. The word luggage. Luggage is uncountable. So, in my car there is a lot of luggage. There are not a lot of luggages. There is a lot of luggage. If you want to specify the pieces of luggage, you can call them by name. A suitcase, a briefcase, a hat box, a trolley. Each individual piece of luggage has its own name. But if you're referring to the whole thing, all together, you use the uncountable noun luggage. Have you got any luggage? Not have you got a luggage or have you got luggages. Another one, advice. A piece of advice is the way you specify one advice. You can't say two advices. So advice is uncountable. A piece of advice if you want to say about one advice that someone has given you or advice in general. So can I give you some advice? Can I give you a piece of advice? She gave me some good advice. Not she gave me some good advices. She gave me a good piece of advice is okay. This rule is also the same for information and news. A piece of information or some information, a piece of news, some news. Now there are many other things which are also uncountable. Rice, milk, the list is endless. But some are both countable and uncountable. For example, hair. The hair on my head is uncountable. But if I find two hairs in my soup, I see two individual hairs. Waiter, there are two hairs in my soup. Maybe he thinks I want three. Also chicken. Chicken is both countable and uncountable. If you're talking about the meat that you're eating for dinner, you say, I'm eating some chicken. If you have two chickens running around in your back garden, you add the S, because now you're talking about the full animal and not just the meat. Also, paper is uncountable when you're being general. Have you got any paper? You can say, have you got a piece of paper? This is also okay. But a paper, when do we use a paper? We can say a paper when we're abbreviating the word newspaper. So, can I have a paper? Can I have a newspaper? Or I've written a paper for university, which is a report or a paper which you've written for your professor at university. Room. Room, when it means space, is uncountable. So there is a lot of room in this room. The second room in this sentence is countable because I'm talking about the room. A living room, a dining room, a kitchen. They are three rooms. So room, when it means space, is general, and room, when it's countable, means the specific rooms, like in your house. How many rooms are in your house? Fire is also both countable and uncountable. A fireman comes to put out a fire, because we're talking about one specific fire. Okay, your house is on fire, hopefully not. So the firemen come to put out a fire in your house. Fire in general is just fire. Many people are afraid of fire. I am a little bit too. I like it if it's at a distance, but not too close. I'm not a pyromaniac. So these are a couple of examples of nouns which are both countable and uncountable. But do you know the partitive expressions for other things? Okay, now you know a piece of information, a piece of advice. What about bread? Bread is uncountable. What's the partitive expression for bread? A slice of bread or a loaf of bread. What about water? You can say a bottle of water or a drop of water. So take my advice, see, uncountable. Go and investigate what other words are both countable and uncountable and make sure you understand the difference because you want to be sure that you're using them correctly. There's a lot of noise coming from outside today. Last night when I was asleep, I heard a noise. One specific noise. See, there are many examples.